"Sir, don't touch your coffee, and when I return to your table, don't look into my eyes." Those words were written on a small folded napkin. 52-year-old billionaire Adrian Cole read them once, then froze. Soft music played throughout the restaurant. Families laughed over lunch, glasses clinked, and no one noticed that something dangerous was unfolding only a few feet away. Adrian slowly folded the napkin and glanced toward his coffee. Beside the cups sat a small silver coin that had not been there before. Seconds later, the young waitress, Maya, passed his table and whispered, "If you want to make it home alive, do exactly as I say." Adrian did not call his security team. Instead, he studied the restaurant through the reflection in the window. Two men stood near the entrance while another stranger sat behind him, typing rapidly on his phone. But one detail disturbed Adrian more than anything else. Maya seemed to recognize those men. Was she trying to save him, or leading him into a carefully planned trap? Then his phone vibrated beneath the table. A single message appeared on the screen. "Leave through the kitchen, or everyone inside will pay the price." Adrian had built a billion-dollar empire by knowing when people were lying. But at that moment, he had no idea whom to trust. His next decision would determine more than his own fate. It could decide whether every innocent person in that restaurant walked out safely. Adrian kept his face calm, but his mind was moving faster than ever. He slipped his phone into his pocket and quietly watched Maya through the reflection in the restaurant window. She continued serving customers as if nothing had happened, yet her hands were trembling. When she passed his table again, she placed a glass of water beside his plate and whispered, "The men near the entrance are waiting for a signal. Do not stand up yet." Adrian noticed something strange. The silver coin beside his coffee had a tiny red mark on it. He carefully moved his napkin over the coin and saw a small black device hidden underneath. It was not a coin at all. Someone had placed a tracking device on his table. Before he could react, Maya dropped a tray near the kitchen door. Plates crashed across the floor, and every customer turned toward the noise. In that brief moment, she pointed toward a narrow hallway behind the counter. Adrian understood the message. The distraction was meant to give him a chance to escape. But as he slowly stood, the stranger behind him also rose from his chair. Then Adrian heard a quiet click. It came from directly beneath his table. His heart stopped for a second. Whatever had been placed there was not meant to follow him. It was meant to activate if he moved. Maya looked at him, her face suddenly pale. "Sit down," she whispered. "You were never supposed to leave this restaurant alive." Adrian lowered himself back into the chair without making a sound. His pulse was racing, but years of surviving hostile takeovers had taught him one rule: panic gave dangerous people power. Across the room, Maya kept serving customers, pretending nothing had happened. Then she placed the dessert menu on his table. Inside, she had written 3 words. "They know me." Adrian's eyes narrowed. A moment later, Maya returned and quietly explained that one of the men near the entrance was her older brother, Daniel. He had disappeared 2 years earlier after becoming involved with a criminal group. That morning, he had unexpectedly entered the restaurant and warned her that Adrian was the target. But before Maya could ask questions, Daniel told her to stay silent, or her younger sister would be harmed. Suddenly, Adrian's phone vibrated again. "You have 5 minutes to approve the transfer." Attached was a document connected to a major shipping deal Adrian had refused to sign the previous week. The criminals did not only want his money. They wanted access to his company's private transportation network. Then the man behind Adrian walked closer and placed a sealed envelope beside his plate. "Sign it," he said calmly, "or the device under your table will become the smallest problem in this room." Adrian opened the envelope. Inside was a photograph of Maya's younger sister standing outside her school. Maya saw the picture, and her face went completely white. Then Adrian noticed something hidden beneath the photograph, a handwritten message from Daniel. "Maya is being used. Trust her, but do not trust the kitchen exit." Adrian read Daniel's warning again, then slowly slid the photograph beneath the menu. The kitchen exit was a trap. That meant the only escape route Maya had shown him was already being watched. He needed another plan, but the device beneath his table could activate if he made the wrong move. Maya returned with the coffee pot and leaned close enough to whisper, "My brother is trying to help us. He secretly called the police, but the criminals took his phone. They are watching every door." Adrian looked toward the entrance. One man was pretending to read a newspaper. Another stood beside the cashier, blocking the front exit. The stranger who had delivered the envelope remained only a few steps away. Then Adrian noticed a small security camera above the counter. He remembered something important. His company had recently installed emergency alert software in several public buildings. If he could access the restaurant's network, he might silently send a warning without using his phone. Maya understood his plan immediately. She picked up his empty glass and carried it toward the counter. As she passed the manager, she quietly pressed a hidden button beneath the register. For a second, nothing happened. Then every light inside the restaurant suddenly went out. Customers screamed. Chairs scraped across the floor. In the darkness, Adrian heard footsteps rushing toward him. But before anyone could reach his table, a powerful voice shouted from the kitchen. "Everyone stay where you are! The police are already outside!" The lights returned, and Adrian saw Daniel standing near the back door. He was holding a phone in one hand. But in the other, he was holding something far more dangerous. A remote control. And the red light on it was already blinking. For one terrifying second, no one moved. The red light on Daniel's remote flashed faster, filling the darkened restaurant with silent tension. Maya stared at her brother, unable to understand what he was holding. "Daniel," she whispered, "what did you do?" Before he could answer, the man near the cashier pulled a small device from his pocket. "Give me the remote," he ordered. "You were supposed to keep Adrian seated until the transfer was approved." Daniel stepped backward. "There is no bomb," he said. "The device under the table is only a pressure alarm. They wanted Adrian to believe he was trapped." Adrian realized the truth. The criminals had created fear to force him into signing the agreement. But why were they so desperate to control his company? Then Daniel pressed a button. Every television screen inside the restaurant suddenly turned on. Instead of news, they displayed files, bank records, and private messages connected to the men surrounding Adrian. Daniel had secretly copied evidence from their phones. The customers watched in shock as the truth appeared on the screens. But the man beside the cashier smiled. "You think this ends with us?" he said. He opened Adrian's contract and pointed to one name hidden at the bottom. Adrian's face changed instantly. The person leading the entire operation was not a stranger. It was Victor Cole, his own younger brother and the company's chief financial officer. Maya looked at Adrian in disbelief. Then Daniel lowered the remote and said, "There's something else. Victor knows the police are outside, because he's the one who called them." Adrian's expression hardened. If Victor had called the police, then the officers outside might not be there to save anyone. They could be part of the plan. Years earlier, Adrian had trusted his younger brother with the company's finances, believing family loyalty was stronger than money. Now he understood why several company accounts had shown unusual activity. Maya moved closer and whispered, "We can't let anyone open the front door." But it was already too late. 3 uniformed officers entered the restaurant. The customers immediately began shouting for help. One officer ordered everyone to remain seated, while another walked directly toward Adrian. "Mr. Cole," he said, "we received a report that you are carrying confidential evidence. Hand over your phone." Adrian did not move. Daniel suddenly stepped between them. "He doesn't have the evidence," he said. "I do." The officer's face changed. He grabbed Daniel's arm and tried to pull him away, but Daniel dropped a small memory card onto the floor. Maya quickly stepped forward and covered it with her shoe. Then Adrian noticed something that confirmed his fears. The officer's badge number was printed upside down. They were not real police officers. At that moment, the restaurant's emergency alarm began ringing. The front doors automatically unlocked, and Victor Cole walked inside wearing a calm smile. "Brother," Victor said, "you've made this much harder than necessary." Adrian stared at him. "Why?" he asked. Victor looked around at the frightened customers. "Because your company was never the real target," he replied. "I needed access to something hidden inside it." Then he pointed toward Maya. "And she is the only person who can help me find it." Maya stepped back, confused and frightened. "I don't know what you're talking about," she said. Victor smiled. "You may not remember, but your father once worked for our company. Before he died, he discovered a hidden system inside our transportation network, a private database containing evidence of illegal shipments. He copied part of the access code and hid it somewhere only you could recognize." Maya shook her head. "My father died in a highway accident." "No," Daniel interrupted. "That accident was arranged." The restaurant became silent. Daniel explained that he had discovered the truth months earlier. Their father had refused to help Victor move illegal cargo through Adrian's company. Soon after, his car had been forced off the road. Daniel had joined Victor's group only to uncover proof and protect Maya. Adrian stared at Victor. "You killed innocent people and used my company to hide it?" Victor's smile disappeared. "Your company gave me the perfect cover. All I needed was the final access code." Then Maya remembered something. Before their father died, he had given her an old silver locket and told her never to lose it. She reached beneath her uniform and pulled it out. Victor stepped forward. "That's what I came for," he said. But Maya opened the locket and found a tiny engraved number inside. Adrian recognized it immediately. It was not an access code. It was the location of a hidden company storage unit. Before anyone could react, the fake officers grabbed Maya and rushed toward the front door. Daniel tried to stop them, but Victor raised the remote. "Move," Victor warned, "or everyone here will learn how dangerous this place can become." Then Adrian noticed the memory card still hidden beneath Maya's shoe. He picked it up, and discovered Daniel had recorded everything. Adrian closed his hand around the memory card and watched Maya disappear through the front door. Every instinct told him to chase her, but Daniel grabbed his arm. "Don't," he warned. "That's exactly what Victor wants." Outside, the fake officers pushed Maya into a black van. Victor followed, still holding the remote. But before the doors closed, Maya looked back toward the restaurant and raised her hand. For a second, Adrian thought she was asking for help. Then he noticed something unusual. She was holding up 3 fingers. Daniel understood immediately. "Storage Unit 3, he said. "She's telling us where Victor is taking her." Adrian inserted the memory card into the restaurant manager's computer. A video opened. It showed Victor meeting several executives and discussing illegal shipments hidden inside ordinary company deliveries. The evidence was enough to expose the entire operation, but only if they could send it before Victor destroyed the files. Suddenly, Adrian's phone rang. Victor's voice came through. "You have 20 minutes, he said. "Bring the locket to Storage Unit 3. Come alone, or Maya will never leave." Adrian looked at Daniel. "The locket is with Maya." There was silence. Then Daniel pointed toward the floor. During the struggle, Maya had secretly dropped something beneath a chair. It was not the locket. It was a tiny key. Attached to it was a note written in Maya's handwriting. "The storage unit is another trap. Find locker 17. Adrian's eyes narrowed. Maya had known the plan before she was taken. But one question remained. How had she discovered Victor's secret? Then the manager's computer suddenly displayed a new message. "Victor is not the leader. Someone inside Adrian's company is controlling him." Adrian stared at the message on the manager's computer. Someone inside his company was controlling Victor. But who? Before he could answer, Daniel unlocked locker 17 using Maya's key. Inside was an old company tablet, a sealed envelope, and a photograph of Maya's father standing beside Adrian. The envelope contained a letter written years earlier. Adrian, if you are reading this, someone close to you has taken control of the network. Do not trust the board. The person behind everything has access to every shipment, every account, and every security report. Adrian's hands tightened. Then the tablet turned on by itself. A live video appeared. Maya was sitting inside a warehouse, but she was not tied up. Victor stood beside her, looking terrified. I was wrong, Victor said. I thought I was in control. But the chairman has been using me from the beginning. Adrian froze. The chairman was Robert Hale, the man who had helped Adrian build the company 25 years earlier. Suddenly, Robert appeared behind Maya. You always trusted family, Adrian, he said. That made Victor easy to manipulate. Robert explained that Victor had discovered the illegal shipments and was forced to cooperate. The restaurant attack had been staged to make Adrian sign away control before the evidence became public. Then Maya looked directly into the camera. Adrian, don't come to the warehouse, she said. The police are already on their way. But a loud crash interrupted her. The screen shook. Daniel checked the building's security map and turned pale. There are no police going there, he said. At that moment, Adrian received a final message. Warehouse 12. Bring the evidence, or Maya and Victor disappear forever. Adrian picked up the tablet and headed for the door. Then Daniel stopped him. Wait, he said. Maya left us one last clue. On the back of the photograph were 4 words. Trust the driver, not Adrian. Adrian stopped at the restaurant door and looked again at Maya's message. Trust the driver, not Adrian. At first, it made no sense. Then Daniel noticed a name written beneath the photograph. Elias Grant, Adrian's former company driver. Years earlier, Elias had secretly helped Maya's father collect evidence. He had been waiting nearby the entire time. Within minutes, Elias arrived in an old delivery van. Adrian and Daniel climbed inside, but instead of driving toward Warehouse 12, Elias took them to a hidden company loading facility. Warehouse 12 is a trap, he explained. Maya knew Robert would expect you to go there. Inside the facility, they found Maya, Victor, and several real police officers. Maya had never been taken by force. She had allowed Victor to bring her to Robert because she knew the criminals would lead them to the real evidence. Daniel inserted the memory card into a secure computer. Every illegal shipment, secret payment, and recorded conversation appeared on the screen. Robert's entire operation was exposed. Minutes later, Robert arrived, believing Adrian had walked into his trap. Instead, police surrounded him. Victor lowered his head. I wanted power, he admitted. But I became a prisoner of my own choices. Months later, Adrian created a scholarship in Maya's father's name. Maya returned to college and began training as a financial investigator. Daniel left the criminal world behind and started rebuilding his life. One afternoon, Adrian returned to the same restaurant. Maya placed a folded napkin beside his coffee. This time, it contained only 4 words. Trust can save lives. Adrian smiled because he finally understood that courage does not always come from powerful people. Sometimes it comes from an ordinary person who notices danger and chooses to act. If this story touched your heart, please like, comment, share, and subscribe for more powerful emotional stories.